right, so now let's see what it's like to drive the C43 AMG. Now, by default, when you're taking off in the Mercedes C43 AMG, it starts off in comfort mode. And I'm gonna be perfectly frank with you. I've been at this car for about 2.5, 3 years, and I never drive in comfort mode. Almost never drive in comfort mode. I find comfort mode to be too soft and too cumbersome, just to be perfectly honest with you. However, my wife, when she drives it, that's the only mode that she likes to drive in. So it's one of the defining features about the C43 AMG is that anything that you need it to be, it's basically kind of a jack of all trades in that sense. Now, when you're going through the C lineup for the 2017 model year, that the C300 and the C43 AMG, it was the first year that it was actually called a C43 AMG, because the first year that it was, the first new model year was in 2015. It was called a C400. And then it was called a C450 AMG. And then for, I want to say for 2 years, it was called a C450 AMG. But in 17, they updated it. They put, instead of having a 7-speed automatic transmission in it, they put a 9-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. And pretty much the same engine. They did some tweaks and twerks to the engine, but the main addition to the 2017 C43 AMG was the 9-speed automatic transmission, and it dropped the 0 to 60 time from 4.5 to 4.1 all-wheel drive. Now, so as I said, I never drive this car in comfort. I find it a little bit too soft. I find it too cumbersome, but I do drive it in sport. That's like my default mode. I automatically put it in sport. And when you put this car in sport, it wakes up a little bit. It wakes up a little bit. Let's just give it a little go. Going down this road right here. Oh, I never get tired of that. The smile, just. And that's what you want from a car. If you're going out and buying a sports sedan, you want this car to put a smile on your face. Like, you want to have what I call look back appeal to your car. When you get out that car, you want to be like Loretta Devine in, Waiting to Exhale, when she said, I hope he ain't looking at me, but she turned around, that's how your car needs to feel. When you walk away from your car, you need to look back at the car and be like, yeah, T-Mon 3. And this car does that for you. I'm telling you, this car does that to you. It's has a nice interior, which for whatever reason I got my navigation and stuff off in here, but it has a nice interior. I love the steering wheel. I love the flat bottom steering wheel. Perforated leather right here, so it's easy to grip. Flat bottom steering wheel. Seats. These are my favorite seats. I kid you not. The leather with the Alcantara inserts. It no matter if it's hot outside, it's great. If it's cold outside, it's great. It's just Now mind you, I've only had this car, I just put it in sport. I never put it in Sport Plus yet. Now Sport Plus is when this car really comes alive. It's when it really comes alive. Take this car around some twisty bits. I'm kind of in like a neighborhood area, so I don't want to push it too bad. But we're going to do some night driving later on. And I'm going to push it a little bit. But this car's pretty decent on gas. It's 20 in the city, 29 on the highway, which is just perfect for me. But it is on premium unleaded. So when gas prices shot up, you paying high. I was paying sometimes $4.30, $4.45 in the area of Tennessee. I'm in the state of Tennessee for my gas prices. So I mean, if you're shopping in this category, you're going to be looking at things like the BMW 3 Series 340, the BMW 440i Grand Coupe, the Audi S5, what is it called? Sportback, the Audi S4, even the Cadillac ATS, which I own one of those. But I would say this car, in my opinion, because the ATS is more smaller than this car, so I would say this car to me is more comparable to the Cadillac CTS V Sport. You know, similar power. This all-wheel drive grip though, man, it just gives it takeoff. But you're not gonna be unhappy when you buy this car. This car, man, it constantly puts a smile on my face. Now, when I first got this car, when I first bought this car, the previous owner had put Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on them, and let me tell you, those tires on this car really does this car. Like, it wakes this car all the way up. This car just grips. However, those are summer tires only, and so here in Tennessee it gets kind of cold. You don't necessarily want those Pilot Sport 4S's in this cold, especially when it drops below like 30, 35. You almost don't have any type of grip. And so I switched them out, and I put the Continental Extreme Contacts All Seasons, and not as grippy as the Pilot 4S's, but they get the job done, and I love it. I love the feel they provide comfort, because when I had those Pilot 4S's on, and it was a little bit harsh. Now what we gonna do right now, let me let the Popo pass by. I won't want to get pulled over by him, but we're gonna put it in Sport Plus because I'm getting ready to go on this expressway. The ride in this car, particularly when you have it in Sport Plus mode, you know, it can be very harsh. I personally light it up a little bit. Those backfires. Oh my God! When it backfires, when it upshifts or downshifts, oh my goodness! This car never stops putting a smile on my face. That's how good of a car this is. Never stops putting a smile on my face. Matter of fact, every time I hit the throttle on this car, it lights up. It never ceases to amaze me. And it just grips. But as I was saying before, you put it in Sport Plus. Now, you can't adjust the suspension setting in here if you hit this little suspension button that it's got right here. You can't adjust the harshness of it, but we gonna put it in Sport Plus. Why make it softer? Anything less would be uncivilized. You can't do that. You can't make it soft. You gotta feel the full of it. Now, full disclosure, when I was looking for this car, I was, like I said before, I was cross shopping it with a couple of cars. But believe it or not, the main car that I was cross shopping this with was the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quattrofoglio. I love the Quattro. I love the looks of that car. That has got to be the most gorgeous car to me, the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quattrofoglio. And I wanted that 2.9 twin turbo V6 that it has in it. Ferrari derived, of course. But here in Tennessee, as I said, it gets cold, inclement weather. So I really knew that my wife is going to want to drive my car, so I went with something more all-wheel drive. Same thing with the C43 AMG. I would say something on camera, but you guys are going to look at me like it's blasphemous, but I actually preferred the sound of this twin turbo V6 over the V8. I know that sounds crazy, but I actually did. I don't really like the way Mercedes V8 sounds. I don't know why I don't. And as I stated before, if you're looking to buy a car in this class, and especially if you're a guy like me that came from a sports car, I think I had a SS Camaro. I had a Genesis 3.8 performance, the track edition or whatever it was. wanting to go from a two-door to a four-door car, but still wanted to have some of that fun. And this is the perfect car for that. This is the perfect car to have fun in. Yeah. But anywho, we're gonna bring this review. Anyway, getting ready to bring this review to an end, this drive to an end. And we're gonna keep bringing you more reviews. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button so that whenever we upload videos, you'll be the first to know.